and a good evening. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday evening across Northwest Florida. Meteorologist Chris Smith here, joined by meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, another night watching for fog, Chris. Definitely saw it last night. I got out of the house right around midnight. I left something in the car, and it was already filled in across Springfield. Kind of a pleasant view to me. I find it calming when it's out there, but certainly wouldn't have been as fun to be driving out there after midnight.
No, and I think we'll see it at least again tonight, and then maybe some Saturday morning as well. Now, the ironic thing is I had very much fog here at my house the past few mornings. A little bit, but nothing that I would consider overly dense. But that's the way it works. It's patchy, dense fog.
You know, it's funny. My house kind of in a low-lying area, obviously elevated and away from the coast, but it's like the moment you get dew points above 50 in the winter time, just settles in right across the road. It's like a blanket. And then obviously if it gets a little more humid, you actually see it kind of up to eye level, but it just sits on the ground. It's fascinating. I'll try to snap a picture of that tonight.
And you can submit your picture through the Panhandle Weather app.
Right, good T-ball right there. I set you up for that one.
There you go. As far as our weather across Northwest Florida this evening, you can tell it's 70 degrees, but look at the dew point temperature, 67. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 5 miles an hour. This is looking from St. Andrews over towards Port Panama City and over into Panama City Beach there, looking over across the bay. Meanwhile, Grand Lagoon, here's a live look out over across Grand Lagoon, where the all of the pontoon boats are tucked into their slips for the evening. Wind's not too bad. You can see a little bit of a rustle on the water, but for the most part, fairly quiet conditions with dew point temperatures pretty high. Looking out over into Panama City Beach, this is at Coconut Creek. Where we got the golf course there. You can see they're making progress. They always do a good job decorating, but you can see we've been watching them on the cameras doing their decorating, but here's the maze, and I don't see anyone lost in there right now, but we'll keep an eye on it. Live Doppler radars, quiet this afternoon. Nothing going on. Temperatures currently into the 60s and 70s across our area. Widening out the picture, looking out towards Texas, that's where the weather is more active. You can see a lot of hail reports, wind reports, some heavy rainfall out there. There is a marginal risk of severe weather across parts of Texas into Oklahoma, and you can see those storms moving through the Dallas area. A few thunderstorm warnings right now. There's that marginal risk of severe weather. Oklahoma City through Dallas, Austin, and down into San Antonio. But unfortunately, it's a big tease because that will not find its way here. Look at the dew point temperatures, very, very high, way up into the 60s this evening. Meanwhile, we continue to see that light onshore wind that's pumping in the moisture, and that, my friends, is going to end up leading to the development of some fog as we move through the overnight hours tonight. For more on that, we go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
All the way until we see dew point temperatures fall. I don't really have that for you here in the weekend forecast. In fact, we'll continue to increase humidity across the area over the next several days. Visibility tomorrow morning as a result, it's the same sort of area from right along 231 pulling towards the east. Some inland spots also seeing that right along I-10, so it could be slow going tomorrow morning as you commute to work. Notice not everybody has it patchy in nature, but certainly something to keep an eye out for. Otherwise, your planner tonight, temperatures cooling slowly. That's the one benefit of us seeing the moisture pick up here across the area. Not much ground coverage at first, but of course that's one of the things that helps for ideal conditions for radiation fog to form. Should set in right around midnight tonight. Ultimately, low temperatures continuing to increase here. You've got coastal spots in the mid-60s, inland locations up towards the tri-state mid-50s, a little cooler in Bluntstown, Weewa down to 54 degrees as well. Now, Apalachicola, notice not as much of an onshore wind. You guys sent in plenty more photos for us here. Here's Ken looking out across parts of the grass here. And Chris, I don't think I've ever said that word before in my life.
Mooly grass.
Mooly grass.
We got some in the neighborhood. It's beautiful this time of year because it's, I guess you could say blooming is that, you know, where you get the color there. But I posted a picture this morning of it, where like the dew has been hanging on to it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like frost, but it's really, really pretty.
This morning looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to plant some, but I didn't know
Exactly. There you go.
That go into the yard?
It doesn't grow in New Jersey.
No, definitely not. The transplant is showing here. Either way, of course, we're going to be a fantastic sunset once again. You can see that refracting right there across the horizon line. The photos continue to look great. This week has been great, of course. And with the high-level clouds, we've squeezed in some extra color, like this photo from Scoop St. Joe Bay, looking fantastic once again. Thank you all for sending in those photos. If you'd like to participate in tomorrow evening's show, send the Submit Photos page here on the Panhandle Weather app, free on the iOS or Google Play Store. You don't have to scroll very far to find it. And it's just a couple of clicks to get those submitted with us. Looks like a couple of folks can't hear me. I don't know how that could be.
Well, you know what? That's okay, because I can talk and you can troubleshoot here during the break, because guess what? That is where we are right now, where we have, let's see, Dan talked about submitting the photos. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about here.
Oh, that's right. I think I got it fixed.
Oh, excellent. So,
A lot of buttons.
okay. So today, Dan and I spoke to, so on Tuesday, we were at the Panama City Rotary Club. Today, we're at the Panama City Beach Rotary Club, and got to talk about Panhandle Weather and, you know, what we're doing here. You can see we had a very nice spread. It was over at Dee's Hangout there, and they did a whole Thanksgiving spread, which was fantastic because I love Thanksgiving. And that was the salad, and
There's Chris.
that was me, and there's Dan. And you see, they're over in the background there. We got the four-way test for the Rotarians. But anyway, we had a fantastic time talking to them about kind of the vision behind what we're doing, where we want to go with it, you know, kind of how it all came about. But it was a really good time, and I appreciate them giving us their time and the floor to talk a little bit about Panhandle Weather.
Always great company when you're hanging out with the Rotary clubs around here. Can't go wrong.
Well, when I was a kid, I always talked about, like, kids have fancy uniforms when they play baseball now. When I was a kid, you wore jeans and you had a t-shirt and then a hat. And we didn't have, like, real teams. Like, I played for, like, the Rotary Club and the and the Lions Club and the Kiwanis Club. And, like, people should appreciate, like, those organizations, the Optimist Club. I've spoken to them before. All these civic organizations that do so much for the community and how important they are. And I have a lot of fond memories playing for the Rotary Club. It was one of the years. When I was a little kid, many moons ago. Also, want to tell folks that one of the members of the club there, Don Cooley, is him and Don and Bubba. They're having Santa Claus is coming to their office.
Fantastic.
That's going to be on Saturday, this Saturday from 11 until 1 o'clock. They're over on Wilkinson Avenue. But Team Don and Bubba, look it up. And Santa's going to be there, arts, crafts. They'll have hot chocolate, so that'll be a good time. But thank you again, everyone, for your hospitality. We're going to talk about, the good news is we got some indications of maybe cooler weather by Thanksgiving. We'll talk more about it here in just a minute.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Now is a great time for a new Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Visit our lot or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
And a good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight across our area? There we go. You can pop that in there and take a gander at what we have going on out over across Panama City Beach. Just a little while ago, it was actually, we had a very nice sunset, but that has since faded away as it's wont to do. It set an hour and a half ago, so
it was dark at 5.
It was
disgusting.
It was. Dew point temperature is 65, winds out of the south-southwest at 5 miles an hour, and you can again feel that moisture near the coastline. There you go. We got a little bit of color out there, and a festive time. Got a couple bonfires over there at Sharky's on Panama City Beach this evening. Very nice setup there. And meanwhile, from Wonderworks, looking down Front Beach Road and Middle Beach Road, quiet weather again this evening. Hey, tonight is up in Chipley. It is Thursday, let's see, it's called Thursday Night Lights. And Miss Cheryl was kind enough to remind me of this. And don't ever be afraid to reach out if there's an event going on in your community, because, you know, I don't know about all of them. I try and do my best, but we always appreciate it when you do. Corby and Company is across from the Piggly Wiggly, and they're gonna have photo ops and a tree lighting. The tree lighting was at 5:30, but this goes until, I think, it's 8 o'clock this evening, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think 8 o'clock sounds about right. But you can see mostly clear skies. It's a tree lighting in Chipley. 70s cooling off into the 60s. Thank you again, Ms. Cheryl, for telling me about that. We were able to get the word out, get a forecast for you this evening. Watch out for over the next 24 hours, again, more morning fog, otherwise warm and humid conditions. Best rain chances are going to be Wednesday, as in next Wednesday. And then a warm start to Thanksgiving week, but I think maybe cooler by the end of the week. The model's kind of coming into agreement that will at least knock things into the 60s, which is at to a little bit, maybe a touch below average, but pretty close to average for this time of year. So over the rest of the night tonight, you'll see that moisture spread across our area as that fog develops. Now, I think as we move through Friday, you will notice a little more cloud cover out there. A mix of sun and clouds is what we'll go with. It's not going to stay cloudy all day. It's not going to be sunny all day. We'll go with kind of a mix. At times it may be mostly cloudy. Other times it may be mostly sunny. As we head into Friday night, still some clouds around, but nothing in the way of any rainfall. But there you see Saturday morning, a few blips showing up on the map as a little disturbance passes way north of us, but it could be enough to trigger a spritz of rainfall. But I really wouldn't hang my hopes on it and don't get excited about it, but it's there. Southerly winds expected tonight into your Friday. Notice the colors begin to turn blue, a little bit breezier, closer to 10 miles an hour as that tightens up Friday. And then Saturday, it goes a little bit more southwesterly across our area. And this is all just pumping in all that moisture that we're going to be seeing as we head into the weekend. Now, it's going to feel, dare I say, almost gross across our area because dew point temperatures will be flirting at the coast near 70. Now, that's not truly summer, but it's not far from summer dew point temperatures, even well up into the 60s inland. So a lot of moisture in place as we move through Saturday. Now, I think on Sunday, the atmosphere begins to dry out a little bit, and you'll see that with a drop in our dew points Sunday into Monday before they increase once again. That's as a front comes through. The front that's going to bring us that 10% chance of rainfall will dry us out. So low temperatures 50s tonight. 60s down along the coastline. Again, watch out for that fog that Dan was telling you about. We'll see patchy dense fog develop during the overnight hours along 331 over towards Crestview along 85 through Bonifay, Mariana, Vernon, down over into Appalach and the Forgotten Coast, Bluntstown, Kynard, all could deal with some fog again tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, temperatures will start off mild into the 50s, topping out close to 80 degrees for the kids. Last day of school before Thanksgiving break. Crazy, I know. Kids are excited. Maybe not mom and dad. We'll see. 70s and 80s across our area. High school football tomorrow night. Again, not feeling like the second round of the playoffs, but it is what it is. At least it will be dry. Temperatures into the 60s. And maybe a little bit of fog developing. Low temperatures Saturday morning, 60s and 70s. And then you see, again, the possibility of some fog developing during the overnight hours Friday night into Saturday. And again, it could be widespread and maybe a little bit more east towards Tallahassee. That will be something we watch as that deeper moisture gets pushed farther to the east. High temperatures Saturday, 70s and 80s. So again, nothing really changing. We do have the more active weather pattern out to our west. Strengthening system is going to bring heavy rainfall from Texas up into Oklahoma. Severe weather, we showed you earlier, already possible across parts of the deep south. And you see where that swath of heavy rainfall is from Texas, Oklahoma, and on into Arkansas. Meanwhile, we're just fighting for scraps here across northwest Florida. We have plenty of warm air in place, and you see that across the northern Gulf Coast. Warm, moist Gulf air. Meanwhile, out across the southwestern United States, low pressure bringing rain and cooler temperatures out there. So what we're going to be watching, this ridge of high pressure, you see this little dip right here? That's going to be your disturbance that drags the front through, that gives us that 10% chance of rain on Saturday. And then this will be the system that kind of kicks all this through, and it brings a chance for rainfall by Thanksgiving, or at least Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then cooler weather for Thanksgiving. For more on that part of the forecast, we go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, never exciting though when you see those sort of cut-off lows, Chris, across parts of the western United States, because timing forecasts, they often go wrong, or at least they can miss in the early parts here as we watch this still pretty far down the road. Either way, we'll keep an eye on that low pressure system back towards the west coast. The current indications right towards the middle of next week, we could more meaningful system. You see that sort of spin up here, bring a whole lot more of a troughing pattern across the western United States, but it's also started to move towards us here. This is Tuesday, and finally you're starting to see the front end of that trough right where the lift would occur, moving through parts of Texas and Oklahoma into Arkansas as well. So at least an indication for us that things will change in the forecast, not just as far as the return of rain chances. You see those picking up Tuesday, especially into Wednesday. We'll see dew point temperatures respond from this weekend's front at the same time, but maybe behind that front we can get a spurt of cooler air. The current thinking, probably not even close to as cool as that big cool spell we had earlier this month, but at least a change from the uncomfortably and unusually warm weather that we've had for the last few days. This weekend, though, we'll just keep an eye out for a few more clouds, and of course that brief and low rain chance over the course of Saturday. Sunday, you already see temperatures falling. You'll notably feel in the afternoon hours much lower dew point temperatures as well. Here's the futurecast for that. High pressure finally kicks off towards the east. Your Gulf opens up. You got more cloud coverage filling in too. And even for tomorrow, some spotty showers, possibly a thunderstorm or two across parts of Mississippi and Alabama as well. For us, we're really going to need to see this front get closer and closer. You see it pinch out the cloud coverage here, some showers across the Gulf, and maybe, as Chris talked about, a quick blip as well over northwest Florida. But very quickly behind that front, all the clouds that moved in, they start to clear out. At least for most of Sunday morning, you could find this front eventually lifting back out of the Gulf. And by the time we get towards the early part of next week, I don't think we introduce rain chances too quickly, but we certainly introduce humidity and clouds pretty quickly once that happens for the start of next week as well. Here's the next system starting to move towards us, which could eventually bring us a low chance of rain over the course of Tuesday, a little better for Wednesday. Ultimately, though, Chris, we are not looking at all that inspiring rainfall totals for us here. Not surprising, but certainly we could be hoping for more as well.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the warm weather continuing at least for a few more days, and then Wednesday, Thursday would be when things begin to cool down at least a little bit. So we look at that temperature trend, you see everything until we get to day 7 is warm. So it's basically status quo. And then you see as we head into Thanksgiving, that's when that cooler air maybe begins to filter in. We will see with temperatures dropping into the 60s for highs, low temperatures dropping into the 50s. So nothing unusual, but definitely at least noticeable, and maybe at least a little bit of a squeegee to squeegee out some of that moisture that is going to be so prevalent here over the next several days. Again, watch out for fog tomorrow morning, mainly sunny skies through the weekend into next week. And there you see those rain chances. Again, we're only talking about a 40% chance of some showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday. So it's nothing to write home about, but it is what it is. We will take what we can get, which I don't think will be very much, but at least on the backside, we get temperatures returning to near average, which is right around 70 degrees. So as you look over here, 69, typical high, right around 70. So looking pretty good.
Certainly not an Arctic blast, but definitely will feel better.
Yes. Let's see. We have Barbara and Judy. Any chance of rain or cooler weather anytime soon? That's what we're talking about Thursday. Maybe by Thanksgiving would be about it. But again, it's be just like a little bit cooler.
Yeah, and when you see those rainfall totals, obviously that's one part of the forecast that could change pretty significantly if you catch some thunderstorm activity across the Panhandle. But with the type of rain that's popping up on most of the deterministic models, the ensembles as well, it's a little bit closer to a steady rainfall totals, 1/10 of an inch. Definitely not going to bring any improvements to the appearance of your lawn right now.
No, definitely not. And especially too with that cold spurt that we had there, that kind of did in a lot of the grass anyway. And so it's definitely between the dryness and then that little bit of a frost where I think the growing season is for the most part, as much as one can be done here for at least a few months.
Ironically, the weeds are still thriving in my front yard.
Yes,
it's incredible.
They still are able to make a go of it.
It's like it's rained 15 inches when you look at the greenery in those. But yeah, ultimately, I think we'll start turning our attention towards the December pattern next week, which I'm excited for. Obviously, some broader signals for maybe an opportunity to get some repetitive cool spurts, or at least break free from this big ridging and all the warm weather that we've seen. But I will be keeping a close eye on that with the ensemble models. I've been working on some projects with that to get that pulled into my computer at home. Last night I completely destroyed it, but it will be good information to have as the winter goes on.
That's awesome. And tomorrow I'm at Merriam Cherry Street Elementary School over in Panama City, talking to I think all the kids at one point. I think it's like K through 3 and then 4 and 5, or K through 2 and then 3 through 5.
Last I heard, I thought it was Group B.
It
last
was
night.
that was something in there. Then Group B. Okay, now I understand it. It's they don't mention Group A, but Group A is the first group, and then Group B. That's what that is. Those are the older kids. It makes sense now.
Awesome. Everybody's getting an education on tomorrow morning at the Cherry Street Elementary, and then I'm sure you'll be busy over the course of December too.
Last day of school before the break, everyone's like, "Chris, you take it. Come do some experiments," which I'm happy to do.
And the kids are going to be like, "Get this guy out of here. We want to go home."
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very, very much for tuning in again tonight. We appreciate you very much. And again, warm and humid weather into next week. Next chance of rain, decent chance of rain next Wednesday, and cooler weather by Thanksgiving. Y'all have a wonderful night.